Alameda is an interesting town, and technically it is an island that is accessed by car by going through a tunnel. Much of Alameda is built on a landfill, so it is an artificial island, as is Treasure Island, which is located between Oakland and San Francisco. It has a lot of the charm of San Francisco with its Victorian homes, but another part is like a military ghost town, partly abandoned, partly rebuilt for new homes, and partly reused to house businesses such as St. George Spirits Distillery. And for me, it holds a personal meaning because it was my late grandfather's last duty station, Lieutenant Chester Waite, who fought at the Battle of Midway in the Second World War and was awarded 4 Bronze Stars and a Silver Star. And of course, it was here also that my father lived when he met my mother. Hello, I'm Erik Waite, and if you don't know me, I'm a certified sommelier with the Court of Master Sommeliers, a French wine scholar at the Wine Scholar Guild, and a certified whiskey ambassador. And I just finished doing a series of vlogs from my trip through Scotland, visited 20 different distilleries in Scotland. Now I'm beginning a series on California distilleries that produce whiskeys, whether it's a straight whiskey, a single malt, or a bourbon. I'm going to begin with St. George Distillery in Alameda, California. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the St. George single malt distilled from malted barley, bottled at 43% alcohol by volume. This is a lot number SM017, which means it was released last year in 2017, probably around October. They're about to have another release at the time when I'm posting this video that should be available probably from November through the end of the year. Super small production. They tend to disappear quickly. You're not going to find them at the distillery. And on the secondary market, they tend to rise very quickly in price. All right, I've already done an uncorking of this. And I tried it again. You can see I got it down below the shoulder. And this is a whiskey that really develops once you've opened it. My impression of it now versus when I first tried it when I did uncorking, it has radically changed. But before I get into this whiskey and give you a little review, here are my notes on the distillery. St. George Spirits produces a range of alcoholic beverages under the direction of master distiller Lance Winters. They're known for producing vodka, absinthe, rum, gin, brandy, liqueurs, and whiskey. St. George Spirits was founded in 1982 by George Roof, a pioneer in what has become the craft distilling movement. Founded as an eau-de-vie distillery, St. George Spirits has steadily expanded their portfolio to include about a dozen spirits. In 1996, George Roof hired Lance Winters, a brewer and former nuclear scientist. 1 year later, George and Lance began distilling and aging their single malt whiskey, which was first released in the year 2000. In 2004, St. George Spirits moved to its current location, a 65,000 square foot airplane hangar on the former Alameda Naval Air Station. In 2010, George Roof retired from his 28 career as master distiller of St. George Spirits, yet he continues to be an inspiration to many distillers throughout California. Alrighty, one of the things I want to do with this current series on California distilleries is I'm always about studying. I'm always about studying wine. I'm always about studying whiskeys. There's always going to be that element here. I want to emphasize a little bit more about whiskey exploration, whiskey journeys, whiskey adventures, and really emphasize more on getting out and visiting a distillery, whether you're in Omaha, Nebraska, Colorado, Texas, Scotland, Ireland, India, or here in California. There is an additional element to understanding whiskey, which is go to where it is sourced. And if you can, this is the best, if you can actually meet the distiller and ask a lot of questions and maybe go one step further and actually get some hands-on experience in actually producing a whiskey. I've always learned the most from that, and I've always gained a greater appreciation of whiskeys or wines by going a little bit further in my exploration. All right, let's get into this. Color-wise, it's sort of a light gold in color with a little bit of copper in there on the nose. As I said when I did uncorking, even though it's a single malt, it reminds me of bourbon, which tells me I'm probably getting a lot of the influence from the casks. I get golden apples, pears, I'm getting some cinnamon, cardamom, baking spices, definitely some vanilla, a little bit of green notes, a little bit of youth showing there, a little bit of green apple as well, maybe some Granny Smith or a little maybe that green pear as well. It has changed so much since I uncorked it. Some whiskeys, as soon as you uncork it, it's pretty much the same from the beginning. Maybe it becomes a little more intense as you work your way through the bottle. Some, they open up more. This, it's not just opening up more. The profile has changed. It's not as grassy as it was when I first opened it. All right, on the palate. There's a nice maltiness to it. It has a tang. It's a tang that reminds me of a beer. And I got that when I first opened it as well. But it's got the apple, it's got the pear, it's got a little bit of orange character to it. Nice spice and some nice florals. It has a huge evolution. There's some whiskeys and wines, they're sort of one way, and then maybe they kind of evolve in the mid palate and something else carries on through the finish. This one, the arc on the change of flavors from the entry to the middle to the finish is quite radical. It's like boom, fruit, boom, that sort of intense maltiness, that's a little bit of grassiness, and then boom again on the finish that kind of continues on with some spice, vanilla, cardamom, and the intense oak characteristics. So really it's not like, some are sort of, kind of a soft roll like this. This is like radical changes in flavor along the way. It's like boom, 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 boom. I don't know how else to explain it other than that. But it's not a subtle, gradual change. Of course, I've only got it this far. I'm really curious to see how it's going to change when I get towards the middle and further down. Now, I gave a bottle of this to Scott & Bart at Scotch Test Dummies. And I know they have a lot of other whiskeys to try, but I'm going to send them a text. I'm going to encourage them, keep going back to this and see if you get any different impressions. Because I'm a lot more impressed with it now than it was when I uncorked it. I didn't give a score initially and it just was so different from anything else I had tried. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good. I just had like a big question mark over my head when I first opened the sample. Now I'm really starting to enjoy it. So I've tried this neat. I've tried it on ice. I've tried it with a little bit of water. I find I like it. The temperature dropped a little bit. Now I'm in sunny California. In fact, as I speak, half of our state is on fire again. It seems to be, we have 4 seasons: fire, floods, earthquakes, and riots. And I thought now we're in November. I thought the fire season went over, but we're going, as I speak, the air is just full of smoke. If you step outside, it smells like a campfire, which is absolutely horrible. But anyway, We're a little warmer here, and so this is different than if I was tasting it in Glasgow or in London or someplace nice and cool, or even anywhere else in the United States. It needs to, in California, the temperature needs to drop, or wait until winter to enjoy it. But I would say I really, really like it. All right, what am I going to give in terms of a score? And I think there's also a whiskey that people aren't going to agree on. There are some people who are going to really, really like it, and there are some people that are going to go and not like it. I don't think people are going to be in the middle about it. I think if people really like it or they really don't like it. It's very, 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 very different. I like the evolution. I like the complexity to it. It's medium in palate, medium in intensity in terms of the texture of it. It doesn't have like a ton of weight to it. But I like the evolution. I like that it changes. I like there's this evolution through the palate. And so I think it's really, really, really complex. But I was trying to figure out how long to age it. I would guess 3 to 4 years. That's a guess. I don't know. I would like to see this spend a few more years here in California. In India, you can get away with aging a whiskey 3 or 4 years and come away with something that has a lot of extraction from the barrel. California is a little warmer here. The distillery is right next to the bay. As you saw there, you can see San Francisco right across the water from St. George Spirits. So it doesn't get super hot there, super warm there. It's quite moderate. I would say probably you might categorize as Mediterranean. I think it needs to spend more time in oak. I'd like to see more aging on it. But that's a challenge in terms of occupying space for an amount of time. I understand all that. But score-wise, I'm going to give this an 89 points with a caveat that you may like it and you may not like it. I think it's something very, very, very different. And I'm looking forward to trying it again and continue to get back to it. And I'm going to keep my eye out for the next lot, 2018, which will be SM018, which should be coming out shortly, because I want to grab a bottle before they go in the secondary market, because then they get really expensive. All right, I hope you're going to enjoy my exploration of California distilleries. I'm only going to distilleries that produce whiskeys. I'm only reviewing the whiskeys. There are some distilleries that I've visited already in part of the series. They produce killer vodkas, killer gins, killer liqueurs, a lot of other spirits that I really, really liked. But I'm only going to emphasize the whiskeys for this channel. All right, that's it for this review. I hope you liked it. If you have subscribed, I want to thank you very much. If you haven't yet subscribed, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe. If you want to know when I go live or post a new video, you're going to want to ring that bell. And I would greatly appreciate it if you would share this with your friends, family, fellow whiskey lovers on Facebook, Twitter, and other social networking channels. All you got to do is hit the share button. A little window's going to pop up, and then you can share it with others. All right, until next time, cheers. Nice.